All right, you may have seen some of this earlier in the day, but a left-wing New York judge doesn't even have the grace to let the 45th president of the United States speak in court, much less on what the 45th president of the United States achieved as a realtor who essentially changed the face of New York real estate. Anyway, joining us now is one of his key attorneys, Alina Habba. Welcome back to the show. We appreciate it very much. I don't get this. He's got an agenda. Everybody's got an agenda in this courtroom, and they will not let Donald Trump speak his piece. Now, I want to ask you, okay, is Donald Trump being rude? Is he yelling? Or is he just trying to get his, let's say, 2 cents in that this judge won't let?
Honestly, none of the above. What would happen was they would show him 2 paragraphs on the screen. They would say, okay, here's 2 paragraphs on the screen. Mr. President, did you certify to this? And he would say, well, the 2 paragraphs discuss insurance, they discuss value, and they discuss how I can rent certain property, 40 Wall Street, for instance. Let me explain. First, let me hit the value. First, let me hit the insurance. Let me hit this. Let me hit that. And he would go into explaining to them that maybe you have a loan document that says that I have to have a net worth of $50 million. Basic. Okay. But there's certain provisions there with step downs and things like that. It's not that simple. If I have to be absolutely honest with you, Larry, I think that they really should have thought about the legal team questioning somebody who is a real estate tycoon, a real estate mogul, is going to go down as one of the greats.
Spent his whole life.
They don't get it, and they're trying to attack and criticize somebody. You better be an expert to try and come after him.
See, look, as somebody who knows him rather well, he's trying to explain what I'm going to call the science of real estate.
That's right.
The accounting of real estate, the economics of real estate, okay? And he knows it very well. Yeah. You might disagree with some of it, but he knows it very well.
That's right.
And this judge, as I understand it, will not let him finish these paragraphs.
No.
And I don't know. And the other thing, I think this showed up. You were on, your presser was during Sandra and Smith and John Roberts. Has a president ever testified like this in court?
No.
Never.
It's a disgrace.
So they won't give him the grace to do that.
It's really, they're cutting him off, and I objected, and there was a fiery exchange with the judge.
Yeah.
Frankly, I can't even say it was with the judge and I. I'm very polite. I'm very professional when I'm in the courtroom. But the judge did not like him finishing or explaining because it wasn't good for their case, and he's interfering. He's made his decision. Let's not forget that, Larry. He made his decision on summary judgment. He found liability already. So now we're wasting taxpayer dollars for months and months and months. $450,000 for an expert the AG paid. Taxpayer dollars, those New York taxpayer dollars. We're wasting all this time, and he won't even let the president, who's the person they're trying to get to, explain why he's certified to certain values. Why? Because the minute he starts to explain it, it ruins their case. He was worth more than his statement of financial condition. And Miss James, her politics, are not allowing her now to backtrack. She needs a PR team, I'm telling you.
Well, she looks like a damn fool.
Yeah.
But putting that aside, I mean, it's the same story with the Mar-a-Lago property in Palm Beach. Every realtor is laughing at the tax assessor's assessment, which you and I talked about a month ago. Every realtor knows what Trump is talking about in this courtroom. The guy that doesn't know what he's talking about is a politically biased left-wing judge who won't let the 45th president make his case. I think that is one of the worst parts of this whole story. You call a trial, you make these charges. The president, who doesn't have to, comes in? Really? I mean, you could do it just as well, but he came in and they won't let him finish his paragraph?
Not only that, Larry, in the beginning, and this isn't going to be reported, but in the beginning, the judge kept trying to say, if you do it again, I'm just going to tell you to leave and I'm going to have a negative inference. First of all, you can't really do that. But he was trying to find a reason because he was panicked. This is an elected official. The judge is an elected official. Letitia James is an elected official. We can't have elected officials who need to be bipartisan, who need to be on the side of their Democratic thinking, their left-wing, radical left thinking. We can't have people like that on the bench, and then we sit here and can't put our case up. It doesn't make sense.
You know, I know there are a lot of left-wing judges in New York. I get that. But there are also some good judges.
There are.
There's a court of appeals in this state. There's an appellate court, all that stuff. You have the New York Bar Association. I know it leans left, but they're not crazy people.
No.
There are a lot of wonderful law firms. Law firms, by the way, whose chief officers are Republicans, believe it or not. So I'm waiting for people to start speaking out regarding the injustice of the way this judge is treating the 45th president. Do you see my point?
I do.
Somebody has to stop the circus and say, this guy, what's his name, the name of the judge?
Judge Engoron.
He is a bad apple, and we don't want to stand behind him because he's making all of us in New York look bad.
That's the truth.
I'm waiting for someone to do that.
That's the truth. And I think that,
Just step up.
Yeah.
Step up and say that. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. This is ruining the legal establishment of New York. This guy's a clown, and everybody knows it. And then there's this issue, what? He's got a clerk, a law clerk who's, you've got a mile-long list of left-wing causes she's donated to. What's up with that?
Well, I've been gagged and I'm not permitted to talk about it.
Don't say a word.
I'm not permitted to talk about it.
I want to keep you out of jail.
But I think that says it all. I'm not permitted to sit here and talk about it. I am
Where's
the legal
gag
spokeswoman
order?
for the president.
He's gagging the president.
He's
gagging
me
you.
as well, yeah.
He can't gag me because I'm in journalism.
You're free to say what you want.
But really, I mean, it's crazy stuff. So, all right, what happens next?
What happens next? Well, this week we're going to finish. They're going to rest their case. We are obviously going to move to completely dismiss this case. There should be a mistrial based on some of the things you mentioned today that I can't talk about. There should be a mistrial here. Bias in general, I'll say, there is judicial code of ethics. Those ethics extend to the entire courtroom. And when you violate the rules of judicial ethics, there need to be certain things that hold you accountable. Your license, that's why there is the bar, that's why there are ethics. There needs to be rules regarding people's ability to believe in an impartial system. And I do believe it as an American. It's my mission to bring to light when there isn't that, because not everybody's Donald Trump. Not everybody can pay for a team of 20 lawyers.
Exactly.
And if we don't stop it now, we're going to be in real deep trouble. I think we already, frankly, are.
Well, I think, as I said before, I think calmer heads have to prevail with respect to the New York legal system, because it looks like a clown show to the rest of the world. I also think people, whatever your opinions of my former boss, the fact remains he's the 45th president. He did not have to testify in court, and he did to make a case about the economics and science of real estate. He could have given these guys a lesson if the judge had just listened.
Yeah, well, he did give them a lesson.
Judge might have, hang on a second, he might have learned something. Can you imagine a judge learning something?
You know, I would invite that judge to come see some of these properties. Go step on Mar-a-Lago. Go tell me that that's worth $18 million. Go. I mean, it's so absurd that the country is laughing. And if he has any, self-respect, you have an opportunity to turn this around.
The whole west side of New York was changed by Donald Trump. The skyline. The whole east side of New York was changed by Donald Trump. Anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Alina Habba, you're terrific. Thank you for
Larry.
making time for us. I know it's been a long day.
It's okay.
All right, terrific stuff.